Did you know that throughout their careers, these legendary Black R&B artists carried a secret that few ever knew? They were the voices behind timeless love songs that still touch our hearts today. Yet behind the fame and spotlight, many of them lived with a truth they felt they could never share. These 15 R&B icons spent their lives in silence, keeping parts of themselves hidden, and passed away with stories that were never fully told. These stories are not only eye-opening, but also shed light on the sacrifices music legends made to keep their fame and careers alive. Their journeys aren't just chapters in music history. They show the real cost of fame in a world filled with judgment and misunderstanding. In today's video, we'll dive into the untold lives behind the music. If you'd like to discover more about these incredible artists, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. And please, share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Nona Hendryx wasn't just an R&B singer. She was a symbol of creativity, innovation, and resilience in the music world. Born in 1944 in Trenton, New Jersey, Nona left a lasting mark on the industry, especially throughout the 1970s. She played a key role in the group Label, a trailblazing act that championed female empowerment and sexual freedom. With their 1974 hit Lady Marmalade, Nona and the group became icons of boldness, challenging societal norms that pushed for conformity and traditional expectations. Rumors about Nona's same-sex relationships circulated, but she never spoke about them publicly during the height of her career. On stage, she radiated strength and confidence, yet behind the scenes, she lived carefully, always worried that revealing her true self could have serious consequences. As time went on and her fame began to wane, Nona gradually started to share more about her personal identity. Nona Hendryx is remembered not just for her amazing musical talent, but also for her strength and courage when facing societal expectations. Even though she didn't seek the spotlight in her personal journey, the choices she made opened doors for future artists to express themselves freely and without fear. Her life teaches us the importance of staying true to who we are, with bravery and determination every step of the way. In interviews throughout the 2000s, Nona openly talked about her love for the same gender, explaining that living honestly gave her the freedom to stop worrying about how it might affect her career or how society might judge her. Her decision to come out reshaped the way people saw her and helped inspire younger artists like Janelle Monáe and Michelle Ndegeocello to be more open and confident when discussing LGBTQ+ identity within Black music. Even with her bold music and powerful messages, Nona carried a deeply personal truth: her love for women. During the 1970s, when LGBTQ+ stigma was still widespread, being open about one's identity could easily jeopardize an artist's entire career, especially in the R&B scene, where maintaining a traditional heterosexual image was seen as a requirement. Although Nona's art and presence showed someone fearless and free, she still had to keep her personal life out of the spotlight, carefully protecting her privacy to avoid scrutiny over her sexuality. Her life and career show that the most meaningful truths don't always need to be announced loudly. Sometimes they're shared quietly through music that reaches the hearts of those who dare to live authentically. Her story continues to highlight the power of personal freedom and the value of being true to yourself, even when the world isn't fully ready to understand or accept it. Teddy Pendergrass is celebrated as one of the greatest icons in soul music, known for his powerful, captivating voice that made millions of hearts race. Born in 1950 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Pendergrass first stepped into the music world as a drummer before joining Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes in the early 1970s. His natural talent quickly pushed him into the spotlight as the group's lead singer, where he delivered unforgettable performances on songs like If You Don't Know Me By Now, a track that made a major impact on the soul music scene of that era. Despite the major challenges he faced in life, from the car accident to living with a permanent disability, Pendergrass stayed committed to returning to the spotlight. In 1985, he made a powerful comeback at Live Aid, showing the world that his voice was still incredibly strong, even if his physical abilities had changed. Still, speculation about his personal life continued to follow him. But Pendergrass's journey isn't a tale of scandal or tragedy. It's a story of resilience, appreciation, and the determination to rise above personal struggles and continue shining. Pendergrass's love life and personal relationships remained largely private, especially after the 1982 car accident that left him paralyzed from the chest down. Although he never confirmed or denied the many rumors surrounding his personal world, the mystery only grew over time. He lived under the constant pressure of public expectations, at a time when coming out simply wasn't considered an option. Throughout his career, he skillfully steered away from questions about his romantic life, choosing instead to keep the focus on his music and the challenges he continued to overcome. Pendergrass's music career truly took off when he went solo in the mid-1970s. Hits like Close the Door, Love TKO, and Turn Off the Lights launched him into legendary status and earned him the nickname King of Romance. His emotionally charged performances, especially the concerts exclusively for women, helped build the image of a charismatic and irresistible star. But away from the spotlight, Pendergrass maintained a deeply private personal life. Persistent rumors surrounding his sexuality continued to circulate over the years, yet he never commented on them publicly, adding to the mystery that surrounded him. In his 1998 autobiography, Truly Blessed, Pendergrass reflected on resilience and how he learned to find meaning in pain. Although he opened up about many aspects of his life, he continued to keep the details of his romantic relationships to himself. That silence became part of his legacy, contributing to the lasting mystery that surrounded him. Teddy Pendergrass passed away in 2010 at the age of 59 due to complications from colon cancer. His passing marked not only the loss of a legendary R&B voice, but also the departure of a man whose deepest personal truths remained his own. While his passionate, emotional love songs continue to live on in the hearts of fans around the world, parts of his life still remain unanswered. His journey reminds us of the cost of privacy and the weight of unspoken questions. Yet it also shows the lasting power of music to shine, even when the artist's personal world is filled with mysteries that were never fully revealed. Germaine Stewart was one of the most vibrant and energetic artists in the R&B and pop world during the 1980s. Born in 1957 in Columbus, Ohio, he grew up in a family that loved music and dancing, which quickly fueled his passion for performing. He first made his way into the entertainment industry as a dancer on Soul Train, and later became a background vocalist for well-known acts like Shalimar and The Temptations. But it wasn't until 1986, with the smash hit We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, that Germaine made a major breakthrough and left a strong mark on the international music scene. Although people within the music industry often speculated about his romantic life, Germaine never publicly addressed those rumors. During the 1980s, a time marked by the AIDS crisis and widespread homophobia, openly discussing a black artist's sexuality could come with serious professional consequences. Because of that environment, Germaine chose to keep his personal life private, directing attention toward his music. He maintained a public image that felt expressive and stylish, while still staying cautious enough to protect himself from judgment and harm. The song reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming a major hit and finding success not only in the United States, but also across Europe. With his high-energy performances, stylish fashion, and infectious pop sound, Germaine became a regular presence on MTV and captured the hearts of fans worldwide. But even as audiences celebrated his bright and glamorous persona, he carried personal truths that very few people truly understood. Germaine's passing marked the loss of a remarkable musical talent, but also the end of a life where many personal truths remained unspoken. Similar to artists like Luther Vandross, Billy Preston, and others, he left behind a legacy filled with timeless melodies and heartfelt performances, yet one that also carries a sense of sadness because of the silence he felt he had to keep. His story reminds us that behind fame there can be hidden struggles, and behind every song there may be a personal truth that remains untold. Although he released several albums, such as Frantic Romantic, Romantic. Note, the correct title is Frantic Romantic, and Say It Again, Germaine's career never quite reached the same heights as We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off. In the early 1990s, his public prominence began to fade, though he maintained a loyal fan base. Behind the scenes, however, Germaine struggled with declining health and personal difficulties. On March 17, 1997, Germaine Stewart passed away at the age of 39 from complications associated with AIDS and liver cancer. Germaine. Stewart's legacy lives on, not only through his upbeat music, but also as a reminder of the personal cost of staying silent in a world that wasn't ready to accept differences. Even though he never spoke publicly about his private life, his songs still connect with listeners today, reflecting the experiences of those who felt they had to hide parts of who they were to simply keep going. Germaine's story sheds light on the challenges many artists faced while navigating stigma, expectations, and the silent society often demanded. Johnny Mathis was one of the most enduring and elegant tenors in American pop music. Born in 1935 in Gilmer, Texas, Mathis grew up in modest surroundings but showed early talent in both music and athletics. As a boy, he moved to San Francisco, where he received formal training in music and also excelled in sports. At one point, he was even considered for the U.S. Olympic track team. Yet he chose to follow his passion for music, a decision that changed his life and left a lasting impact on pop and R&B music for decades to come. In a time when the LGBTQ+ community faced strong stigma, Johnny Mathis chose to live discreetly in order to protect his career. His songs, especially Misty and Chances Are, came to be interpreted by audiences with new layers of meaning, hints of a hidden, invisible love tucked within the lyrics. That ambiguity made his music even more profound and mysterious, leaving listeners to wonder if a deeper, unspoken love was embedded in those heartfelt ballads. Mathis became an admired figure in the eyes of many, especially women who were drawn to the raw emotion in his lyrics. But behind the image of perfection, there were personal struggles he rarely shared with the public. In 1982, during a rare interview, Mathis made a statement that caught everyone off guard. It appeared in a magazine without proper context, leaving people confused and turning it into a major topic of public attention. His ballads weren't just love songs. They were stories filled with longing, desire, and complex emotions that listeners deeply connected with. Mathis stayed away from major scandals throughout his career, but his quiet nature also reflected the challenges of his time. As a black artist moving through jazz, pop, and R&B in the 1950s and 1960s, simply maintaining a place in the music industry was already a significant achievement. Any personal revelation risked jeopardizing the career he worked so hard to build. However, Mathis chose not to go into further detail and quickly moved away from the topic, almost as if it had never been brought up. His decision left many questions unanswered, and for most of his career he remained very private about his personal life. He avoided the spotlight, rarely appeared at high-profile events, and stayed away from the Hollywood party scene. He never retracted what he once expressed, but he also never added clarity to it. Many believed this silence acted as a form of protection, allowing him to continue his work without the pressures of public scrutiny and the expectations placed on artists of his time. With his smooth tenor voice and effortless delivery, Mathis quickly rose to stardom, especially through emotional ballads such as Misty, Chances, and I Can't Say No. These songs became widely popular and helped establish him as one of the most successful recording artists of his era. His polished style, the perfectly tailored suits, the warm smile, and that unmistakably romantic voice captivated audiences everywhere and solidified his place in music history. Thus, Mathis chose to live quietly, letting his music speak for what he preferred to keep personal. Today, he is remembered as a pop and R&B legend, known for the smooth voice that once enchanted audiences around the world. His career reached remarkable heights, yet his personal story remained mostly untold. It's a legacy where the music lives on endlessly, while the man behind the songs, his challenges, and his solitude continue to be part of a lasting mystery. Donny Hathaway was born in Chicago in 1945 and is widely regarded as one of the greatest artists in American music history, celebrated for singing songs that reach deep into the listener's heart. Raised in a family rich in gospel tradition, his grandmother was a gospel singer, Hathaway was immersed in music from an early age. While studying at Howard University in Washington, D.C., his skills on the piano and in musical arrangement quickly stood out, setting the stage for an impressive career throughout the 1970s. Although no one can fully explain it, Donny Hathaway's death left behind a remarkable musical legacy that deeply influenced generations of artists. Singers like Alicia Keys, John Legend, and Stevie Wonder regard Hathaway as an inspiration. His powerful, emotional voice continues to resonate with fans, and his story remains a reminder of the quiet struggles many artists face. Known for his warm tenor voice and his remarkable ability to convey emotion, Hathaway became one of the most respected R&B artists of all time. His performances consistently moved audiences, but behind the brilliance was a personal struggle few truly understood. Despite his incredible talent, he faced deep internal challenges that weighed heavily on him throughout his life. Known for his warm tenor voice and his rare gift for emotion, Donny Hathaway stood out as one of the greatest R&B artists of all time. But his talent didn't stop at singing. He was a brilliant composer too, blending gospel, jazz, R&B, and classical influences into a sound that was smooth yet powerful, reaching deeply into the listener's soul. With timeless ballads such as Misty, Someday We'll All Be Free, and Where Is the Love, a duet with Roberta Flack, Hathaway took his music far beyond borders. These songs didn't just chart. They became authentic reminders of love, connection, and hope, earning him respect across the industry and a Grammy Award. His songs were whispers of feelings that words could never fully express. And it was this intangible quality that gave Hathaway's music its true power, not just through melody, but through the stories left untold behind each note. On January 13, 1979, Donny Hathaway passed away at the age of 33, falling from a hotel window in New York City. His death was officially ruled a suicide. The incident shocked the music world and left many questions unanswered. Was it the weight of mental health battles, the unspoken burdens he carried, or a combination of forces that led to this tragic end? In the context of the 1970s, a time when prejudice and discrimination were deeply entrenched, many artists carried tremendous pressure to conform. Hathaway also battled paranoid schizophrenia, and his internal struggle became a painful part of his life and career. These emotions quietly surfaced in songs like "Someday We'll All Be Free" and Voices Inside, "Everything is Everything." But behind the spotlight, Hathaway's silent pain was mostly invisible. During his more reflective moments, he admitted that trying to keep his true feelings hidden had taken its toll. The story of Donny Hathaway isn't just a musical journey. It's a reminder of the hidden battles so many artists face behind the spotlight. Songs like "Someday We'll All Be Free" and "Where Is the Love" continue to inspire listeners across generations. If Donny Hathaway's story touched you, comment 1 below. If you see it differently, comment 0 and tell us why. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next powerful story. Billy Preston, born in Houston, Texas in 1946, is one of the most unforgettable figures in modern music. Known as the fifth Beatle and the superstar of the organ, Preston began playing the organ at the age of 3 and even had the chance to perform with gospel icon Mahalia Jackson before he turned 10. His childhood years were soaked in gospel and soul, laying the foundation for a musical talent like no other. The contrast between the freedom in his music and the quiet boundaries of his personal life makes his story both inspiring and heartbreaking. Although Billy Preston rarely spoke about his private struggles, his life remains a powerful reminder of the challenges many artists face behind the scenes. He wasn't just a gifted musician, he became a symbol of the silent battles that often go unnoticed in the spotlight. With hits like "Nothing from Nothing," "Outta Space," and "Will It Go Round in Circles," Billy Preston delivered songs that became timeless classics, topping charts and earning him a Grammy Award. His success throughout the 1970s cemented his place as one of the most dynamic and talented artists of the era. Yet behind his brilliant career and electrifying stage presence, there were personal struggles he chose to keep private, far from the spotlight. Those who knew Preston personally often sensed the emotional toll of the life he kept behind closed doors. While audiences always saw a Billy Preston bursting with energy and joy on stage, close friends recalled how quiet and lonely things could become when the lights went out. He struggled with the pressure of maintaining a certain image in the public eye, worried that being fully open about his personal life could affect his career and relationships. That fear kept him silent for many years. As a teenager, Billy Preston worked with legendary figures like Little Richard and Ray Charles, where he absorbed soulful rhythms and gospel influences that laid a strong foundation for his later career. With his extraordinary keyboard skills, Preston collaborated with musical icons such as Aretha Franklin, the Rolling Stones, Sly Stone, and George Harrison. He became one of the few artists invited by the Beatles to record with them, earning the honorary title of Fifth Beatle for his key part in the creation of their song Get Back, which was credited to the Beatles with Billy Preston. Even though Preston always lit up the stage with lively, upbeat tunes, the truth was, he spent most of his life in the shadows. Friends and colleagues knew he was gay, but back then, especially in an industry like R&B full of prejudice, coming out wasn't really an option. The gap between the person everyone saw on stage and the private man he was forced Preston into a kind of personal cage, leaving him trapped in silence and constantly worried about being exposed. Billy Preston's life, shaped by the silence he forced upon himself, mirrors the pressures society placed on him. His music still bursts with the joy and freedom he shared with the world, but if you listen closely, you can almost sense the notes he never played, the truths he could never voice. When Preston passed away in 2006 at just 59, his songs lived on, yet the full story of who he really was remained untold. Keith Barrow, born in 1954 in Chicago, Illinois, was a rising star in the soul and disco scene, celebrated for his sweet voice and distinctive musical style. He grew up in a deeply musical family. His mother, Willie Barrow, was not only a well-known civil rights activist, but also a pastor. It was from her that Keith developed a love for gospel music, which eventually guided him towards soul. By the mid-1970s, he was making waves in the music world, earning attention with hits like You Know You Wanna Be Loved, 1976, and Turn Me Up, 1979. In the 1970s, both society and the R&B industry weren't ready to embrace differences like Keith's, especially for a young black artist. In a market that expected clear heterosexual role models, he faced the challenge of writing love songs for women, even though his true feelings didn't align with that. This created a sharp contrast between his life and his music, leaving him trapped in a constant internal struggle. This left his life feeling lonely and closed off, a burden he could share only with his closest friends. While this silence helped him avoid public controversy, it also denied him the freedom to live authentically. Tragically, Keith Barrow passed away in 1983 at just 29 due to complications from AIDS, at a time when the stigma surrounding the disease was immense. His sudden death shocked fans and loved ones alike, many of whom believed he was on the verge of something truly great. Keith's close friends remember late-night studio sessions where he quietly spoke about wanting to write songs that truly reflected his feelings, but he feared that doing so could end his career. His silence was a shield, a way to protect himself from the stigma, knowing that being open might destroy everything he had worked for. Even without any public scandals, Keith lived much of his life in secrecy, hiding a large part of who he really was. Keith's performances blended the warmth of soul with the lively beat of disco, captivating audiences not just with his talent, but also with his charisma and the way he poured emotion into every lyric. Known as the honey-voiced crooner, critics hailed him as a rising star, with the potential to reach the heights of the era's biggest names. Yet behind this shining persona, Barrow carried a secret. Although it was clear he was gay, he never publicly acknowledged it during his career. At that time, discussing his life and true identity was still taboo, with AIDS and homosexuality being highly sensitive topics in society. Keith Barrow is remembered as a talent that was never fully recognized, a brilliant yet fleeting artist who paid the price for silence in an era steeped in prejudice. His legacy lives on not only through his emotional ballads, but also through the story of his inner struggle and the loneliness of a man who could never truly live authentically.